Welcome to the Daily Dose. We do it every single day. Remember, you guys can go ahead and follow us on YouTube and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Today, we're talking about Meek Mill and what happened in Las Vegas. Now, he had tweeted, he was really upset that the Cosmopolitan Hotel and Casino was racist and they discriminated against him. There's audio going around. You guys can check it out for yourself. But we're talking about that today because me and Noah have worked in Vegas. We've done radio in Vegas. We lived in Vegas. And it's very much racist over there, right?
Well, two things.
On the strip, kind of, because they don't allow hip-hop too much on the strip.
They're not One, I would like to know what, I don't know if Meek Mill's actually revealed what the racist act was. I'd be curious to know that. But I agree, though, because having lived out there, having DJ'd out there, working in this industry out there, there was a time when hip-hop was not allowed on the strip. And I could tell they still struggle with that. And I think they're kind of forced to have hip-hop on the Las Vegas Strip only because it's the most popular music in the country.
It is.
So, in the world, actually. So, you have no choice. And I think this is a perfect example of that, how they really don't want it there, but they have to have it there.
No, because I've dealt with that myself. I used to host a club in one of the most popular casinos. I won't say it, but they were trying to force the club out. It was a lot of black and brown, and it was on the strip. And at that time, it was the only hip-hop club on the strip. And what they were doing, the casino would do, was shut off the air condition to make it hot so that everybody would leave. And
That's wild.
Yeah, and I remember going to the club, and I'm like, yo, why are all the fans? Like, there's fans here. And
this was a prominent club. You'd walk in on any given night, Floyd Mayweather would be there. Or the who's who of just like black
at this
excellence,
club.
Black Hollywood would be in this place, man.
And literally, like, it was so hot, and they were like, see, they're trying to force us out. But they had the lease, so they couldn't, but so they were making life miserable for them so that they would leave.
Yeah. No, I mean, it goes with the narrative that people who listen to hip-hop music don't spend money. I'm sure that's a big thing. I mean, it happens everywhere, but in Vegas, I'm assuming, right, you can make more money if you have a different crowd there that plays a different, that you can entertain with a different type of genre.
Right.
So I'm assuming, but with the whole Meek thing, to circle back around to Meek.
Yes.
It looks crazy, but you remember, we're only seeing one side of it, right? So when I first saw the video, I'm thinking, I want to know what is the reason the Cosmopolitan said that. But when they start releasing statements, you're like, all right, you guys are kind of back.
Kind of full of shit.
Yeah, kind of full of shit. At first, they said that it was a previous incident, right, that Meek had in his history. You go, okay, maybe we believe it because the Cosmopolitan is like a chain of hotels, so it could be a different one.
Right.
But then they released a statement and said, no, that that the club he was going to was at capacity, and they warned him not to show up, and that was the reason. But he even says it in the video. What if I want to go get a bite to eat? What if I just want to go upstairs and just be a normal person?
I hear what you're saying, and I agree with most of what you're saying. The only part I kind of disagree with is that I don't think black people, people of color, or just hip-hop fans, period, don't spend money. I think they do spend money. They spend a lot of money. In fact, that's part of the reason why it's the #1 genre in the world right now.
I agree with you.
I honestly think from working out there, from living out there, from knowing people that are in the industry out there, I don't think they like the way it looks to have black and Latin patrons at your spot. I think that's a big part of it. It's just the optics of it, man.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that. I really do.
So I think, you see a whole bunch of black people dancing to hip hop. I just think there's a certain stigma that's been attached to that, even though it's wrong. And I think these people, they want a certain crowd, or they want to have their things look a certain way to maintain that image. And I think that's a big part of it, man.
Yeah.
But what you're saying is right, Teddy, because like for us hosting, we host a lot of hip hop clubs like throughout the years. That's the saying that we've always heard, oh, they don't spend money. They don't spend money.
Right.
You know what I mean? The stigma is that we get drunk in the parking lot.
Right.
And then we go into the club.
Which is false too. And this is like facts. Google this shit. Do you know black people as a collective have the most some of the highest buying power in America? Together, black people in this country spend over $1 trillion a year in buying power on brands, at clubs, at concerts, buying shit. So
to me, it's just a stigma. And going back to what you're saying, because I did hear that, the club was at capacity. But when he was like, I just want to go eat, that's when they should have said, okay, cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
First of all, I'm sorry, you got to make room in the club because it is Meek Mill. You know what I mean? Like, I would have did that, but okay, cool, you just want to go eat. But they were even adamant about that. Like, no, you cannot trespass.
But also because it is Meek Mill, like, and he's doing Meek during the incident of him being arrested and having that incident with that judge, you got to understand, like, maybe that plays a part, maybe like, how he's pushing the agenda about mass incarceration and how this whole system is fucked up. Maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe because they understand that he's a powerful person. I was actually thinking about this over the weekend. Like, a lot of the qualities that we saw in Nipsey, like you could find some of those qualities in Meek.
Oh, sure,
like,
yes.
Like
of
his story
you
is just as powerful. Like if you really look into the story of Meek Mill, so you got to think like maybe they had something to play. Maybe he pissed off the wrong people, and they just taking it out on Meek in that kind of way. Because, when artists go to these events, they you notify the facility ahead of time. So it wasn't like he just popped up by surprise. They knew he was coming.
Right.
Yeah.
And so that's when they sent to his manager that he wasn't allowed, and they were ready for him when he did arrive. So,
That is
there
so
has to be
crazy
another
to
agenda.
That's
me.
just crazy to me. Dude, I forget what comedian said this. I think Chris Rock said this, but it's like everybody want to be black, but don't nobody want to be black. And that's what it is, man. Everybody wants to have hip hop in their clubs. Everybody wants the trendiness of the fashion and the music and the lifestyle and the culture. But then you don't want them in your club, man. And Vegas has done that shit for a long time. And it was easy to do that when dance music was a craze.
Yeah.
When you take it back even further and like country music and rock music was a craze. Yeah. But guess what, man? Niggas are here now. You know what I'm saying? We control this music shit. Hip hop is what it is. Your kids listen to hip hop. Everybody knows if you don't got no hip hop at your fucking party, that shit ain't cracking, man.
Yeah.
Don't nobody want to fucking dance to LMFAO right now. You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
They want to hear that real shit, for real,
and
man.
I just think that the experience that he's experienced, thank God Meek Mill has a big platform. He can go ahead and speak on it, because there's a lot of people like us that have dealt with it, that you know what I mean, that back in the day, like 10 years ago, you know what I mean, we couldn't speak on it that much. We just had to take it.
Even to this day, we get discriminated, and no one gives a fuck. You know what I mean? But I mean, Meek posting it because he knows a lot of people that go through that same experience. You know, obviously him at a higher scale, but it still happens to us.
And I think the good thing now too is at least we got these things, so we're a little bit more empowered than we were. And I say a little bit more because there's still an uphill battle, but
Yeah, because I mean, in the video, you can see the guy telling Meek Mill's people like, don't videotape me. They're like, he's like, shut off. He's like, no, I won't.
And that's
like,
when he goes straight to the script. Well, this is why you trespassing.
Yes.
He understands he's being filmed. But to piggyback off what Noah said, you're right. Hip hop is the #1 genre, and if you're not noticing at all these festivals, right, at all these shows, who's in the crowd? I mean, it is a lot of brown and black, but it's a lot of white people out here, and it's moving, and that's the trajectory we're going to. So you might not want like hip hop or brown and black patrons there, but we're not the only ones that listen to the genre, and they're spending money as well. So you could try to fight it to all these old establishments, but we're coming.
Yep.
Yes, we are.
And it's like, I thought we already gone through this. Haven't you already tried to fight it in the 90s? and it just got more popular. Country songs have trap drums now. Turn on a country radio station. They are singing over trap drums. The 808s and the hi-hats going.
Right?
Hip hop.
So what are your thoughts on what happened to Meek Mill this weekend? Go ahead and post below. Yes, post below. Daily Dose. We do it every day.